Well, hello. Nice to meet you. I've been waiting. And now you've acquired a most interesting power. You truly are an intriguing one. Fascinating. In the moments where your heart is most gripped by the book, I can reach out to you. My name is Moore, and I am the humble author of the novel you've been reading. You stand now in my study. Quite something, isn't it? A hall of wisdom, purpose-built for the research of certain powers. I call it academia. Alas, it's as much a prison as it is a library. His most merciful majesty saw fit to lock me in this place. It has me a bit addled, honestly. I no longer remember where in the kingdom my study actually lies. I never imagined my voice would reach beyond these walls, until you appeared. And now, by whatever strange forces are afoot, I can speak directly to your mind. So, what would you say to an alliance?
What kind of alliance?
There must be more you wish to know. For instance, the nature of this fascinating power you've awakened to. I believe you have found a way to wield true magic. You need no petty conduit of mortal make. You can even change your appearance using the raw magma within. It is above all a mystic, long-hidden art, now the stuff of legend. What I have come to call archetypes.
Archetypes?
A spirit of heroic virtue. A transformative power that manifests only in those who embody the heroes and kings of old in some core aspect. Heroes of antiquity are often depicted as near mythic figures, with forms transcending the mortal. These accounts are no mere allegory, but truth. However, none of my records describe anyone wielding such power as freely as you. Perhaps you are meant for not just proficiency, but mastery. In their truest form, archetypes represent the power of a true hero. One who can drive away calamity and evil in this world, no matter its form. Indulge me this request, and I believe my dream may yet be possible. Together, we can restore the kingdom's ideals. I shall gladly provide you knowledge and assistance to master your newfound power. So what say you? Will you take my hand in friendship?
Okay.
The bargain is struck then.
The scholar in search of utopia, more. Within him dwells the virtue of the seeker. Nurture thy bond with him, and a new power yet slumbering within thee may awaken.
Now let's see what manner of story you'll weave. We'll meet again, I'm sure. Here's to our joined path, and the thrills that yet lie ahead. Well then.
What?
All right. That means... Because you see,
This one's important.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. But for that... this research... How delightful. Regards. Well, well. Incredible.
All right.
Fascinating.
What kind?
However... in truth... However...
Yeah.
I see. I look forward to continuing our research. How delightful. This right here. Well then.
This one's important.
Until next we meet.
Really? What exactly do you have against sleep?
I saw it all unfold. An ally became a friend, and he awakened to your power. But his path was cut short. It is all too easy to forget the fragility of life, until the tragedy of its loss. Yet, I feel his efforts were not in vain. He never turned from his fears and worries, unflinching to the last. Just as the lives of old heroes are passed down through their tales, so too will his heart. You have inherited the story of an unsung revolutionary and all its power. Yet be warned, such power rarely awakens without trials. Even should you overcome them, your virtues will be tested time and time again. You must carry on, honing your archetypes and heart with painful sincerity. That is the first step towards changing the world. I have faith in you. there's one more important thing. You can visit as long as you have the calm and time to open a book. But when threats lurk nearby, we may not always have the luxury of attention undivided. And danger is an inconvenience so often encountered, of course. As such. A smart-looking fellow, isn't he? There's a special magic igniter embedded in his collar, too. Much as I'd like to join you in person, I cannot. I can, however, send his consciousness in my place. If you see him in places of battle, do stop to pet him, won't you? You'll find him a most helpful companion. If you would survive the trials to come, think not only of the powers you know, but how they might be combined. Now, until we meet again. Would you look at this? Incredible.
All right.
Not only that. In truth. Yes.
Right.
Thank you. But... may fortune favor your journey. Now then.
This one's important.
I can hardly wait. You don't say. Incredible.
All right.
Did I?
What happened?
Not quite.
What?
It appears that...
It'll be fine.
I must apologize.
Just trust me.
I thank you. Often I find your words resounding in me. Well then.
This one's important.
I can depend only on you. Oh,
What?
Why that... Did I?
It'll be fine.
both come to know.
This one's important.
Until next time. Now why do that? Incredible.
All right. Everything okay?
Yes. Please. The truth of the matter is,
What?
this research.
Yeah.
Surely. I'm grateful, truly.
Now, a new power.
May the truth guide us both. Listen here.
This one's important.
If all goes according to plan, I have faith in you. Unbelievable! You've truly fulfilled your task? Your abilities know no bounds. Why, it beggars belief. Incredible. Utterly incredible. Incredible.
All right.
Wow, he's really gushing this time. Though I'd say you definitely earned it.
It cannot have been an easy journey, full of meetings and partings, trials and joys, all from which you've come to find your own way of life. There must have been many people who have wished, worked, and given themselves for your support. Indeed, you could never have achieved so much alone. I see. If you have come so far with motes of the people's light in your wake, then perhaps I was wrong, and the world is not lost to hope. A strange revelation, but I confess, I do not resent being proven wrong. And the world is not lost to hope.
I could have told you that. There's always hope.
Is that what you believe? Then the power of fantasy has given you strength indeed. Now then, I'd like to present your next task. But, alas, I have none to give. There is nothing more to be done. With this, you have seen our mutual endeavors through to the end. There are two reasons. The first being that my knowledge of archetypes ends here. I have nothing more to teach. You have outpaced me on the path to the ultimate archetype. I believe I have helped you all I can. As for the other reason...
What's wrong? Oh, by the way, did you get that lost memories thing figured out?
Unfortunately, the rest of my memories have not come to me. However, I did arrive at a conclusion of sorts. Why was I confined here? And where in the world is this place? My apologies, but for now, I'll refrain from explaining my conclusion so simply. It could cast a shadow over the archetype's growth. No, more so your own.
What's that supposed to mean?
This room is not the remains of the Mage Academy. No, it's likely a place the two of you know very well. That you and I met was no coincidence. Everything has been connected from the beginning. If the hypothesis I've reached is correct, my memory will soon return in full, and I will gladly tell you all. Yes, though there is one memory I know for certain, beyond speculation. The reason why I wrote the fantasy novel. I mentioned once that in my youth, I went on a journey. I met many people in my travels, and it is for their sakes that I wrote my tale, as an ideal I hoped to make true.
In your youth? You don't look that old to me. You're talking like this is all way in the past.
Ah, indeed. I suppose I am. I shared my stories with the people I cared for dearly, that we might dream of the same future, and thus strive toward it. I've no idea what became of them, or how they now live, but I'm glad to have remembered them. Their echoes have given me a new goal, crystal clear. Someday I will leave this place behind and reunite with my companions. I'd like to give you some tangible token of my appreciation as well. If we only ever meet in this mind space, I can't give you so much as a single letter.
When that time comes, let's go on our own journey together.
And so our odyssey would continue, Yes, a wonderful idea. Thank you. When we met, I styled myself as your guide, but in truth, I think you guided me just as much. It seems he'd like to show his appreciation too. Thank you, my friend. I'm glad we met.
The scholar in search of utopia, more. Keeper and heriter of the Seeker's virtues. By the grace of his newfound powers, work to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
Dreams will forever elude our grasp. Thank you for this heart-to-heart. Visit me whenever you need to, as always. We have a pivotal battle ahead of us, after all. I truly look forward to the day where you master the power of all archetypes and become a hero king, a great unifier of heroic spirits. We will meet again.
Leave it to me.
Yes. I have faith in you. How delightful. Indeed. Please. I thank you. What say you? I can hardly wait.
Where?
Are you awake now? I summoned you just in time. Do you remember what happened? What you've done?
Luis cast a spell and...
I'm frankly amazed you would go to such lengths, even to fight back against the spell. If I hadn't saved you, you really would be dead. But rest assured, we're finally safe. As for where we are far, far away from that hellish world. Do you remember the first time we met? I was sure you would find a clue in your journey that might reveal where in the world this place is. So I believed anyway, but I was wrong. From the start. This place is... It was never of that world to begin with. No. Maybe there's a better way to put it. This is a place that exists between reality and fantasy. In other words, the world we've been living in is fantasy. The journey was all an illusion.
An illusion?
There's nothing but despair in that world. And it will never get better. It's an endless, painful, irredeemable hell. I'd always believed that creating a utopia was possible. And if there was desire, then I thought maybe one day someone would achieve it. But I came to realize I was mistaken. In the end, a fantasy is just that. A fantasy. But all that primordial chaos only exists in that world. The world of reality is nothing like that. Really, it's an environment you should know quite well. You've come to know so much of it already. Through text on a page. Now, behold!
Isn't this?
Indeed. It's the world I wrote accounts of in my novel. Until now, you've thought this world a mere fantasy. But it's not.
So the world I know is all an illusion. And the world of the novel is... reality?
Surely you already know. There is no deadly magic, no prejudice between its people. Now, all you have to do is admit that everything you've been through has been nothing but a story, just a fantasy. Then this can be your perfect reality. Your journey of revolution was just a passing dream. Let me take you back to reality, child.
What will happen to my friends?
You don't have to worry. As long as you can accept that this place is real, everyone will be safe. That world is past any point of redemption. Change is impossible. The royal magic was supposed to be the turning point, but it was all for nothing. In the end, people don't want their world to change. They just want someone to be a sponge for their infinite anxieties. That's all. You can't blame Luis for wanting to end that cycle. How could anyone accept that they lived in a world that miserable?
Even so, I don't want to give up on it.
Come on, snap out of it!
What?
My, such disbelief on your face. But once you stop to consider it, the ideas fall apart. Come now. Magic? Some otherworldly force capable of anything with anxiety as its fuel? A fanciful idea to sustain a fantasy world. Illusion. All of it. Those curiosities in academia, they were there because of the place's connection to true reality. And not even they could endure. You still don't believe me. Why is that?
I still have unfinished business.
But why? What unfinished business remains in an unwinnable battle? If I hadn't saved you, you would have died there. You don't have to chase your fears and anxieties based on some misguided concept of justice. It was all illusory. And there is no shame in accepting that. Reality is a monolith. Reality is unchangeable. So stay here in Utopia, in the place you loved reading about so much.
This place, it isn't a utopia.
You deny it? Will you deny that the world of the novel is utopia?
I can at least cast my usual spell for you. It's the small comforts, right? Music was the first magic this world ever knew after all. Makes the road a little easier, right?
The journey, my friends, they were as real as anything I've known.
Why won't you understand? Please, I don't want you to die. I can't lose anything else. Truly, I see. I understand now. I remember. I had indeed lost everything. Despite my lofty ideals, I lost everything. Academia, the woman I loved, even my only child. Reality isn't just cruel. It's cruel beyond any hope of change. That's why I had wished for someone to strike me down and end my misery.
You hoped for death?
My name is Ethludius V. I once reigned as king. Or I am half of one, to be accurate. I was born of the very magic that split the prince in twain and gave rise to you and this place. No, it is not real. We are inside the book you hold. It served as your key to visiting me. This was the form of my youth, when first I entered the ancient sanctum. Perhaps it would be best to call me a discarded shadow of idealism. I once took such joy and passion from my ideals. I truly believed that I might end the strife and discrimination that plagued our people across nigh endless years. But the tremendous incomprehension and injustice that defines our world, it was more than I could bear. It broke me. And Luis is likely going through the same thing. I want to save you from that despair. I understand now that I would do this as your father. I could not bear to lose my child a second time. If If you stay here, at least you'll be saved. Do you truly still want to leave this place and risk your life to face a reality you can't change?
If I stay here, then I've already lost.
You are on the cusp of dying in Luis's hands. Is that not proof enough that we lack the power to change reality? I can't let you throw your life away against that man. I must stop you. Even if you come to hate me for it. Fantasy is a curse, sweet in seeming. And if I must save you from it, I will teach you what reality is. I suppose how I promised to travel the world someday is destined to be only another unfulfilled dream. Archetypes embody the power of heroes who sought to change the world. And even having mastered such power against Luis, who could accomplish nothing, I wrote all my ideas into my novel. But my love's death showed me how empty it all was. You cannot sacrifice your one life for an empty dream!
I don't want to turn my back on my ideals.
Why can't you see that those ideals will only invite ruin? If no one else, you must live. That world is beyond your help. Beyond any utopia. You must face reality, my son! So this is what it means to truly strive toward an ideal. What irony. After I spoke of fulfilling my dream alongside you. What power! To see the archetypes brought to such heights in so little time. If you go back now, your ambitions will avail you nothing. You'll only die a dog's death. What is it that drives you so?
You gave up on your hopes, but I will not.
What? You think I chose to give up? Are you this determined to cling to your beliefs? Is that truly what separates us and keeps me confined here? Such power! Can it be? No matter how dire your fate, you never gave up. You surmounted every barrier, gathered and united soul after soul, and now, at last, across 3 nations, 8 tribes, and humankind. To unite heroes across such abyssal divides would require surpassing power. The king of all archetypes. Is that the role you would seize? A true king in body and soul.
Do you hear me? Your Highness!
Oi! Wake up, Your Highness!
How? Their voices reach you? Even here? It would seem your future is not yours alone to decide.
My friends are waiting for me.
The support and ardor of your allies. Yes. The very power that reveals paths beyond your own perspective. I see. That is whence you draw your power. Neglect anxiety, and magic will lead to ruin. Even before the war of destruction, the downfall was foretold. Yet still, they met their prophesied end. Perhaps archetypes are the will of humankind of old, left to us. A plea that we learn from their failures, that we might rebuild the future ripped from them.
I have to try. I want to know how far I can go.
Fascinating. Even as you face down the gravest oppression of reality, still you persist. Still you seek the world's unknowns as precious possibility, I see. Well, if you can believe there is more to the story than the end I see, then it is yours to tell. Once you return to reality, this place will surely fade as the dream it is. I, myself, will not be spared. Unlike you, my other half is long gone. And any reunion, lost. But if I truly am the idealized soul and hope of your father, then before I fade, I entrust you with the power of my life. Not as the author more, but as your father, the king. The kingdom rests in your hands now. If there is yet any value to believing in something beyond us, prove to me that fantasy has the power to color reality. Now, onward, O King of a new dawn! Must be the Lord that governs Utopia in all worthy champions. The hero's archetype. The king. I see. At long last, fantasy has become a force that frees people from anxiety. A harbinger of change for a deadlocked reality.
The people have chosen my son. With that, my tremendous gamble hath borne fruit. Thus it is that my duty here draws to a close.
And now, the novel you wrote with such passion will finally begin a new chapter.
This voice... could it be? But how?
While flames swept through the sanctum, I cast a final spell to abandon my body and survive in soul. I became an immaterial being among the fairies. I had to, so I might provide guidance to the child on his most perilous path.
The power of the archetypes. Was that your doing?
No. All I did was awaken them to it. My voice carried the words they needed to hear. That power is no great and rare treasure. It is something that might be grasped by anyone with the will to change the world. And anyone has the power to change the world. Those children proved as much. Now, that boy has grasped the courage of a warrior. All dragons who still roamed the continent have fallen by his hand. For what greater embodiment of the impossible is there than a dragon? And he now possesses the power and will to quell those forces.
I see. Then he is not so weak a child that I must hold his hand. I am truly sorry. I lost all the power I once knew. I saw the sanctum burn. And you. I lost you. Once they took our child from me, all my remaining hope went with him. And so I placed my faith in the royal magic. I believed that if this world would choose him, there would still be hope.
This shall do. That boy's fight, and ours, is finally over. The people no longer need some mystic relic or some lofty magics to soothe their fears. They have found the strength to overcome it within. Provided they can turn their anxiety into strength and never stop walking toward the unknown, reality will ever change. Their world shall be one full of possibility.
This isn't about the throne anymore. It marks the beginning of a new era, led by those who are truly worthy of the people's trust. Almost the appointed time now. The day is dawning on a new king's reign. And with it, my true passing. However, if I may truly end my life with pride in my boy and my love at my side, I've no regrets.
It's been a long road to this moment, hasn't it?
It has indeed. But for our son, a new journey now begins.